No problem. I've still got plan C. Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Plan C podcast. Yeah, you're here. It's happening right now. Woohoo! What's going on? Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great evening whenever you're listening to us. This was a fun episode to record. We dunked on the Cowboys a lot, so if you're a Cowboys hater, make sure you check it out. Make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, following, all the fun things. Make sure you're checking previous episodes. Make sure you're following for episodes in the future. I haven't decided if I'm going to do an NBA podcast before or after Thanksgiving. I might wait until like that 20, 25 to 30 game mark to do it. Just, so we can talk it out. Plus, my Nets are really fun, and I want to see if they're going to make a trade to not be so fun anymore. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Last Tuesday was last Tuesday. These things happen. Much like everything in the world, we're just gonna keep moving our feet. Because, like a shark, if I'm not moving, I'm dying. That was weird. But, yeah. Hope everyone's all right. Appreciate everyone for listening. Hope you're doing okay. New York has finally started to turn to winter, so that's nice. Or not winter, but fall conditions. I don't like how dark it gets because it's dark at 5 p.m. now, but, still good. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbering. We're going to get into it. Week. What week is it? 10. Yeah, I was going to say 9, but I knew that was correct. Week 10, breakdown, talk about the NFC West, talk about the Cowboys. Here we go. And we are back. What's going on, folks? Joined as always by AJ. AJ, thank you for joining us, even though you are not feeling so well.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah, this is your flu podcast, so appreciate you. So, I think it's been a little bit too long, and we haven't talked about the Cowboys, America's team. What's going on with the Cowboys, you might ask at home? Well, Cowboys are really not having a great season. Really, really not. That they are coming off of a 34-6 loss against the Eagles. They don't have Dak Prescott right now. They are sitting at 3-6, which is good for third place. They've lost 4 in a row. They've been embarrassed a bunch of times. AJ, what's going on with the Cowboys?
They've been having it pretty rough. I mean, they got blown out by the Saints. No offense.
No,
Early on
I
in the
mean
season,
that's a sus game now.
at that point in the season, I knew they were done. But I mean, the fact that they're having such a bad season, like yes, they're 3-6, first overall pick right now, draft standing wise, 2-8, and they're sitting in what, like the 10th spot, the 10th, 9 or 10. Like they don't even have a top 5 pick if the season were to end today. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL this year.
There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL.
So many bad teams. That's ridiculous. Um, just a complete mess. And they kinda went all in this offseason. Did they not? They signed CD, they re-signed Dak to a ridiculous contract,
Yeah.
brought back Zeke.
I mean, if you were to guess, so Parsons, CD, Dak are all 3 on the team next year.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Following year, I don't know. Because I said this before, I was all in favor of them getting rid of Dak, and I know realistically, it probably would have never been possible for them to get rid of Dak just as a competing team. established quarterback, been there forever. But how do you have one of the highest paid receivers, one of the highest paid quarterbacks, and now your
Not
best
one of the
player on your
highest paid quarterbacks, the
the highest
highest
paid
paid.
quarterback, and now you're going to be looking to lock up one of, if not the best defensive player in the NFL, who's going to be wanting another record-breaking deal as well? Can you? Are they going to be able to keep all three
It's certainly tough.
eventually? Like,
It's certainly tough, and I think there are a bunch of layers to this. But the one layer I think is like sort of the biggest. If you're going to point the finger, I think this is Jerry's team building.
100%.
This is how long has been Jerry running the team? Been running the team by himself since like 2000, right?
Yeah, 25 years.
Yeah. Jerry should get a lot of credit for hiring Jimmy Johnson. But I think that's where the credit needs to end. You know, yes, he's a good owner, and Jerry has done a lot for the NFL in general. But if you look at his team building has not been good. Yeah, you look at him trading a 4th-round pick for Mingo, who can't even see the field for the fucking Panthers, and you're like, what the? I mean, what are we doing?
Okay, I understand the criticism for that trade. I don't hate that trade for them. When you look at the big picture, yes, it's bad, but like on a micro, just because of the same, or just looking at the Cowboys, I should say, wasn't horrible. Jonathan Mingo's was a second round pick last year. Like, I mean, you could give you got to
He
give a
couldn't
lot
play
of,
in Carolina.
yeah, but come on, how many players have left Carolina and gone on to actually be pretty decent?
Uh,
I
uh,
blame that more on the coaching and the culture, but when you compare it to what Devontae Adams was traded for, what Deontay Johnson was just traded for, yeah. What DeAndre Hopkins was traded for, yeah. Giving up a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo might not have been great, but that team has just built so poorly. The offensive line has really it's lost a lot of their stars last couple of years. You're really just hanging on to Zach Martin. No,
and and the loss
yeah.
of Dan Quinn is a loss. He also took a couple guys with him who are now impact players in Washington. Um, so
I,
it's
yeah. Yeah, I didn't think the fall off between him and Mike Zimmer was going to be that crazy. I really
I,
didn't.
it's nuts. And because they have signed these contracts, like you're gonna, unless you really, really improve and have a couple of really good drafts, you're gonna be in about the same position, maybe a little bit better. Dak is done for the season, and things aren't going well. I think McCarthy probably stays
No
um
shocked.
based off of Jerry's history. I think he stays.
What were your thoughts on Michael Parsons' comments about Mike McCarthy?
I thought they were a lot worse on paper, but then I went and I watched the clip of him saying it, and I was like, oh, okay,
It
this
was
is
more
one of those,
emotional.
and it sounds like on paper it looked a lot worse than what he was actually saying in the video,
Fair.
Um, so yeah, no, I definitely think it was one of those that was just like totally aggregated because the words, like, out of context, yes, that looks awful, but in the context, it's not as bad as you think.
I think there's almost a 0% chance Mike McCarthy is with the team next year. There's no shot. There's no way. And if they are, you're gonna expect the exact same results next year.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
look at the Jason Garrett history. That's what I'm thinking.
That's true. But so what do you do in the draft? Say there's say the season ended today. They're sitting where they're at, seventh.
Um,
What do you do in
so-
free agency? What do you do in draft? What do you run it back?
what do I do? I install some curtains in my stadium. That's what I do.
Jeez, yeah.
Which Jerry said he will not be doing.
I mean, all stadiums kind of. It just happened to be very publicly announced. I mean, it was your star receiver dropping a wide open touchdown. So I'm not. It happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that we know where the sun's gonna be, and could we have just shifted it a little bit, Jerry? No, okay. Neither here nor there. Yeah, I do think their season is over. Their season is over. They are sitting right above the Saints, 13th in the NFC. And you're not the top of the NFC is not going to be caught. Because you have the Lions, the Eagles, the Falcons, the Cardinals, the Vikings, the Commanders, the Packers, the 49ers, the Bears, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Bucks are all above you. The Cowboys are not better than any of those teams. Sorry,
I mean,
Cowboys fans.
even if they had Dak, I'd agree with you regardless.
I think so. Because the thing is, Dak isn't a bad quarterback. I just think you can't put it all on him. He's not at that level where you can just be like, okay, Dak, win us, 10 games this season. He's just not.
Yeah, the fact that they ran into the season with that plan in the backfield blows my mind.
It's insane to have the running back. No, it's insane that they were like, Zeke Elliott, come on down. Welcome back, baby. And they were
Yeah,
like, Rico Dowdle. All right.
the second worst rushing offense in the NFL. Uh,
And they have
do
good
you know who's
offensive
first?
linemen too. They have good offensive linemen too. So this is purely a running backs issue, I think.
100%. Do you know who's the worst
Is it the
in terms
Saints?
of most yards? No,
Oh, Panther. No, it's not the Panthers. Is it the
apparently
Colts?
no.
Oh,
JT has almost as many yards as this entire team. It's the Raiders.
oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
The Raiders. The Cowboys have only 753 rushing yards throughout the season, second lowest. They only have three rushing touchdowns on the year. And they've
Ooh,
attempted the least amount. They've only attempted 197 runs all year. All year.
I do. This season is gonna get bad for the Cowboys. Because oh baby, their schedule you do have one or two winnable games, but the rest, nope. Can I read you the schedule?
Let's hear it.
Home Texans, at Washington, home Giants, home Bengals, at Carolina, home Buccaneers, at Eagles, home Washington.
Okay, that didn't sound horrible. If they had Dak, it wouldn't have been
Yeah,
horrible. Because
yeah.
division games are toss-ups. You get Carolina in there. Um, but yeah, they're gonna lose. They're
Also,
gonna they're not gonna win much.
without looking, um, have the Cowboys won a home game?
I'm gonna
Without
go
looking,
with
just
no.
they have
I'm
not won a
gonna
home
say
game.
no.
They have not won a home game.
Just based
Uh,
on the way you asked the question.
and there's a chance that they will not win a home game this year. Um,
Mm.
you gotta the one I'm looking at is week 13 against the Giants. That's the one you gotta win. Because then it's Bengals, Bucks, and Washington. And those are all better teams than you.
And they likely will, just because I don't think the Giants are gonna be playing for much for the rest of the year,
You watch Cooper
personally.
Rush?
Yes, it was bad.
It's gonna be so fucking bad. It's gonna be funny how
They
bad.
need to at least they just need to at least turn it over to Trey Lance. Like, dude's gonna be a free agent.
Yeah,
At least,
I don't know why they went with Cooper Rush versus Trey Lance. I
I
mean,
mean,
they eventually did go to Trey Lance, but
it was only for like a play, was it not?
I thought it was a couple more. And neither here nor there.
Yeah. Either way, roll with the young guy, the younger guy. Yeah, it was more than a play. You're right. Did not look great, but regardless, neither did Cooper Rush. So team's ass. At least throw in some young quarterback with maybe some potential. See if there's anything there, and then move on. It's over.
It's definitely tough if you're a fan of the Cowboys, which happens to be a lot of fucking people here. Yeah, I don't know, just eh, this team that was already built heavily on top, you know, they've been let down in some regards and their depth has really failed them and their draft isn't great and they have no running backs and that has all come to head. Um yeah. And I would say sorry, but I'm not. I'm so
And I'm not
fine.
either. I'm happy about it.
I'm so fine with the Cowboys being cheeks. On the exception that they do not draft Travis Hunter. Because if Travis Hunter went to Dallas, that would make me really upset.
Who
And
was it?
it'd be a
Yeah,
very
I'd be
Jerry
bummed too.
Jones move.
I mean, it'd be kind of a great landing spot story wise, but I'd be pretty upset about it too. Who was it? There was somebody was speaking yesterday and said that they should hire Dion and draft Shador.
Oh, I do. You know what? I saw that on Twitter. Um, somebody was like, "Oh, like, just make Dion the head coach of the Cowboys." I
It
didn't
was it
see.
was Stephen A.
Oh, of course, Stephen A.
That's who it was. Yeah. I mean, shoot, there's zero chance. Odds they draft a quarterback high next year.
No, no, they won't. They just gave Dak all. Jerry's in control. Jerry won't do that. Jerry
They
Jerry just
should.
Jerry just gave all that money to Dak. No, I actually think Dak will be there for like 5 more years.
Mm,
I don't
mm,
think we'll quite get to
mm.
the point where, we're discussing Dak having, another contract standoff, but I do think that he will be in Dallas for at least 2 or 3 more years.
Fair enough.
Jerry's a loyal guy. Like that's the thing. Um he's loyal to his guys, and Dak is definitely one of his guys. So I'm interested to see, and especially because he got injured this year. Um, like, yeah, yeah.
Well,
What do you say?
sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, but not sorry. Anything else on the Cowboys before we move on?
Nada.
Nada. Yeah. Same. Moving on to the NFC Best, and aka the NFC West. The Rams may have lost to the Dolphins on Monday night, but I do still think that the Rams could potentially sneak into a playoff spot. Um, right now, the NFC West is they've really recovered from their stumble. I feel like at the beginning of the season they really started stumbling. And granted, the no team is over 500 by more than a game, but over their last couple games, like they've really shown us something.
A lot of
49ers,
injuries
yeah, a lot of injuries as
early
well.
on.
Yeah. Specifically to the Rams, 49ers. Cardinals have really turned it on. I don't think they'll win the division, but they've won 4 in a row.
They're undefeated since Call of Duty Black Ops 6 got released.
Kyler Murray,
It's
yo.
pretty fantastic.
Did you get Black Ops 6?
I did, and I played like 10 minutes of it. It's pretty
Oh,
sad.
okay. Okay.
I just don't have time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
Your
need more
father.
time. Did
Father.
you know that Kyler currently has the fifth best odds to an MVP?
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Okay, can I guess the top 5?
Yes.
So number 1 is Josh Allen.
Wrong.
Is it Mahomes?
No.
Um, wait, I'm trying to think
It's
now.
Kyler Murray. Sorry, just kidding.
I was gonna say, um, is Jalen Hurts up there? Not at number 1 though.
Out of one. You've
What'd you
guessed
say?
everybody in the top 5 except for number 1.
Damn, who am I
Back
missing?
to back.
Oh, Lamar. Duh.
Yes.
Starting
Yes.
quarterback on my fantasy team.
So it's Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and then Kyler.
Wow.
um, it's pretty ridiculous that like all of the let's see, the best odds top one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. The top 14 are all quarterbacks. So
I was gonna
stupid.
ask, what's the highest non-quarterback?
Is Derrick Henry at 14.
Wow.
And then get this. The next highest one is Saquon, who sits directly behind Caleb Williams.
What?
Yes.
Wait, how? Okay, I'm sorry. How does Saquon have worse odds than fucking Caleb Williams?
I mean, I guess it depends on what book you're looking at, but I'm looking at four books. I'm on a website that like compares them all that have him higher.
That's insane. That's
Yeah,
insane.
it's pretty bad. I mean, Jared Goff took a stumble, but not as much as he probably should have.
What's Jaden
Geno's
Daniels
up there.
at?
He's sixth, right behind
Wow.
Kyler.
Good
He has,
for him.
yeah.
Good for you, Washington fans. You got rid of Dan Snyder, and look at what happened.
Isn't that a really good testament on like how quickly you could like if you do blow it all up, it does not have to be like a 10-year rebuild, 5-year rebuild.
No,
Like you could change
yeah,
owner, GM, coach, quarterback, and have some success.
crazy.
Very encouraging. Yeah. It's no, the NFC West has been pretty fun. I mean, we kind of flipped on our heads. Like the Seahawks have taken a bit of a stumble the last few weeks,
Yeah.
uh, which is kind of sad to see. I'm I'm kind of in the spot where I'd be okay if they moved to Sam Howell. I love
No,
Gino,
no, no,
but
no, no. They won't do that. They won't do that.
they won't do it.
It's not Gino's fault. It's not Gino's
I
fault.
know it's not. I know it's not, but I'd be okay with it. Sam Howell does not deserve to be a backup quarterback right now.
And you just want the world to see that.
Just give a little flash, you know, switch it up a little bit.
I did have Sam Howell on my fantasy team for a little while and thought that was some dope
Because
shit.
they're 0-2 in their division. Okay, everybody else has a much better record. Niners are 1-2, uh, right behind them. But I mean, the Cardinals right now are in first place. Like the Seahawks are sitting behind everybody, even the Rams. So just because of the divisional record, so they gotta get it together. They started the season 3-0, and they've gone 1-4 since.
Yeah, I mean, it
And they just
hasn't.
cut their starting linebacker.
Are you serious?
They cut him on Monday. He was waived. Yep.
Damn, that's crazy.
Tyler Dodson was claimed by the Eagles. I don't understand why too. They released him. He started every single game this year. He's playing somewhat decent. But he's gone.
It's crazy. Can I read you the Cardinals' remaining schedule?
Yes.
They have a bye this week, which I thank God because my opponent has Kyler Murray, so I get to avoid Hurricane Murray. Um, so bye at Seahawks, at Vikings, home Seahawks, home Patriots, at Panthers, at Rams, home 49ers. That is a
Oof.
very, very winnable schedule.
It's
Like,
up and down. Like it gets difficult, then it gets easy, then it kind of finishes out a little
mm,
interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I think you can certainly beat the Seahawks twice. You can certainly beat the Rams. Can certainly beat the Panthers. Can certainly beat the Patriots. Um, I think at Rams will be a hard game. home 49ers is a hard game, but I don't know. There's definitely a path to this team finishing in the top spot.
I'd I'd love to see it. I mean, they were another team that everybody assumed was going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year.
Which I didn't quite
Um,
understand.
I think it's just people were forgetting how good Kyler was before he tore his ACL. I think
Yeah.
that had a huge part of it. No, and then James Conner just refuses to like stop being good.
Bro, James Conner had
Despite,
cancer and like came back and was like, "Yeah, I'm just still gonna be like one of the best running backs in the NFL." So I guess.
he outlived on the field, figuratively speaking, Le'Veon Bell.
Which is
He was the better running
insane.
back.
He was the better
Well,
running
okay,
back in
actually,
Pittsburgh.
he had more longevity. We'll say that. Le'Veon's
Yeah,
peak was pretty damn good,
Le'Veon's peak was pretty
but poor
good.
dude, his brain went to shit.
If you were to guess, how many incompletions do you think Kyler had against the Jets on Sunday?
I'd say about five.
No, he had two. I'm not sure why
Mm.
this is. I'm not sure why this is not bigger news. Truthfully, just I don't
And I
know.
only
Like,
guessed the low number because the way you asked me a question.
yeah, no, no,
I
no.
knew it was probably low.
But I just mean like we all freaked out when Jared Goff was like throwing the way he is. Like, can we give some love to Kyler? You know, like
But
now I can understand why.
Jared Goff he didn't miss a single pass that game.
No, I know, but he had a couple weeks after that where he was doing like somewhat similar things, and we were all like, "Oh, Jared Goff."
You let Jared Goff have his moments. Poor bastard's been through it.
Oh, sure, fine.
But
But
I agree with you. I agree with you. But that game, he did have almost 300 yards and two touchdowns. And look, I'm not gonna take away from it. Kyler's game, he played phenomenal against. I don't know. I mean, this that Jets defense has really dropped off ever since they fired Robert Saleh.
what a
They're not.
surprise!
They're not nearly the same formidable defense that they were. I mean, in all honesty, they're bottom ranked in a few categories.
What a surprise!
So, yeah. But I mean, hey, that team won, and they really did not have to do a whole lot. Like, yes, we talked about good James Connors. James Connors not even he didn't even do shit on Sunday.
No,
He scored.
he had like 12 rushes for like 30
It's
yards or
like
something.
30 some yards. But Trey Benson, their third round pick, has been playing really good. Mercado's been playing pretty decent. Like they're getting a lot of rushing efforts from around. So
Jonathan Gannon, good coach.
who'd have guessed? Who'd have guessed,
Yes.
man?
Eagles
Pew pew.
fans. Yeah.
Fireworks. He told us. He tried telling us.
He did try telling us. Do you think the 49ers can go on a run here?
I do. They finally are healthy. Sans Brandon Ayuk, but I mean, he wasn't really doing much for them this year anyway. No, I do. I mean, I think Christian McCaffrey is only going to get his legs under him more and more each week. Kind of get back to game readiness. Ricky Pearsall is looking pretty great. George Kittle's having a phenomenal season. I think they can.
It does definitely feel like a classic Kyle Shanahan season where suddenly the 49ers just like they have their bye week, they get some people healthy, and then they come back and just start like really beating the smackdown on people. McCaffrey comes back and he didn't score a touchdown, but he had 9 receptions, I think, and
Mhm.
a bunch of rushing yards. So just having him back just really unlocks a lot. So yeah, no, I think even though this team has a pretty brutal schedule ahead of them, I think we're gonna start like seeing them climb the standings.
Only
Um,
their kicker can get it together.
yeah, did you see that?
Oh, I saw
I
it.
don't.
Debo
Yeah, Debo fucking like
choking the
smacked
long
the
snapper.
kicker and choked the long snapper.
Oh, I
Like,
saw it.
what the fuck? What was going on there?
It's because the kicker, this was his first, Jake Moody was his first week back in a while, and he missed 3 kicks. And so Debo was going after him. Debo has not won the talk this year. Last few years, honestly, ever since his All Pro selection, he's not been an All Pro worthy player. So I mean, you don't go after
That's
your
just
teammates like that, dude. It
insane,
was
dude.
insane.
That's
Nothing will
crazy.
happen from it though. There'll be no discipline.
That's so crazy.
You can't have your own players choking each other though. It was pretty. As an outsider, knowing everybody was fine, yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, no shit. I just looked this up and I saw that it says that Kyle Shanahan says that the long snapper overreacted in the scuffle with Debo. Okay,
Oh
I'll
yeah,
have to
did
look
he?
into
Did
that a
he?
little bit more.
That's too
I'll have to look
funny.
into that a little bit more because that was just a headline, but Jesus, that's
That's too
funny.
funny.
Debo
Um,
wasn't saying anything bad to Jake. Oh, okay, yeah. He's defending Debo. Oh well.
I mean, we don't know the context, so makes sense.
We don't. You just got the video that looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
From a teammate perspective. Pretty funny. But oh well. Who do you think walks out of this division with the most wins?
49ers.
Okay.
I think they did like most pedigree, most experience, best players, best coach. Yeah, dude, I mean, there's not a lot to be said. I think the Seahawks will stabilize, but they're not going to make the playoffs. And I think the Rams have maybe fallen a little too far to, claw back. But
Hmm.
at the same time, football is weird. Brock Purdy could suddenly turn into a pumpkin. Um, yeah, we'll see. They're gonna have to pay Brock Purdy in the offseason, right?
They could probably, well, they could wait, but I mean, this is his fourth year, right? This next year will be his fourth year, right? Am I looking at? He went to the Super Bowl as a rookie. Yeah, so they could put it off a little bit, but I mean, Brock Purdy's probably going to want to get paid if he's smart. He's eligible for a contract extension, but who knows? He could wait a year, and there's going to be four other quarterbacks that are going to get paid more and more over that year, and then he'll get paid even more.
Yeah, or he could just be like, tag me and let's roll it over. But well, I don't think a player would opt to do that actually.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
Um,
know. I mean, because he could do something like that and then tear both ACLs and his Achilles on one play and then be done forever.
the old Sean Livingston. I got you.
Oh, oof, oof, oof.
Oof, indeed.
Give
But
me
hey,
chills even just thinking about that.
Sean got his ring, so we're happy for
Hey,
Sean. Former
he had
Brooklyn
a good
Net.
career.
I was so pissed when he left the Nets, but then he went to the Warriors and had a really good end of his career. So I was like, okay. He was so solid for the Nets that season though. He wore number
Oh man, he would
14.
have been so good. Damn, you're having flashbacks, huh?
I am, because that was the Nets team when they traded Kevin Garnett, or they traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, and then like they all just like got old really quickly and were all really expensive really quickly, and then we didn't have any air picks, and oh yes, and I thought we were gonna be back in that fucking spot, but the Nets have decided to be nice, which I'm okay with, I guess, moderately. I don't know.
Different
Anyway,
topic.
different topic. Do you have anything else on the NFC West before we get out of here?
I'm gonna go the fun route. I'm picking the Cardinals
Okay,
to win the division.
I fuck with that. Yeah,
I'm liking what I'm seeing.
yeah. No, and it's not.
It's not that crazy to
It's
say.
not that crazy.
I think the Rams, that loss last night really hurt them.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Because you could have
I
been
think they
5-4.
were just without Debo. I mean, without Cooper Cup and Puka for a little too long.
Yeah.
I just a lot of inexperience too. They were talking about that, especially on the defensive side. I mean, they've drafted very well over the last couple of years, but like a majority of their defense is made up of like third round picks and lower, outside of Jared Verse and a couple other players because they just
I like
they
Jared
sold
Verse.
their souls for that Super Bowl ring, those two
Can't blame
Super
him.
Bowl appearances.
Can't blame
I
him.
just, yeah, I think they're gonna be the ones that will probably middle out, and I think the Seahawks might crash.
Mm, yeah, we'll
Unfortunately,
see. Yeah, the Seahawks.
unfortunately.
I feel like the Seahawks aren't in a similar position to the Colts, but like similar flavor, where ever since their QB left, they've just kind of been trying to figure it out. And granted, Gino has been that guy, but you also kind of haven't won Gino.
Yeah, at
So
least they've had some stability there, though.
that's fair. That's
They're dealing.
fair.
I mean, they're dealing with some injuries too. They're missing their top receiver. Has every team in that division their number one receiver's been out for at least
Um,
some time? Marv missed a game, right,
depends.
with a concussion.
Is Marv number one?
Of course, he's number one for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
by far
Yeah.
and away.
49ers, yes. Rams, yes. Seahawks, yes. Yes, you're right.
Mm.
Crazy.
Well, we'll see. It'll be nice. They all play each other quite a bit still too. So
Yeah. They definitely will be beating up. There are two teams in the NFL who have not played a divisional game. Do you know who those teams are?
Steelers.
Yep.
Yep, I just saw something about that this morning. I don't know who the second team is.
Second team, the Bears.
Oh, I did. Okay, yes. That's blows my mind, dude. We're 2 weeks
Um,
or 10 weeks into the season.
yeah, it just means the rest
Crazy.
of the ride they're just playing divisional games.
That's gonna suck.
Um,
Shout out to the Bears. Finally got rid of Shane Waldron. Might actually have a productive offense to end the season.
yeah,
We'll see.
speaking of, can you give me your 1 to 5, or I guess it's 1 to 4 for rookie quarterbacks that are starting this year?
Rankings.
Yep.
I think you gotta go with okay, Jaden Daniels for sure. That's
Yep.
clear cut.
Jaden
He is
Daniels is
one.
number one.
Everybody else.
Yep.
I think Bo Nix has shown the
Okay.
most progress. I really think
Okay.
so.
Nice.
I don't think that's that crazy. And then I probably, and no fault of his own, but I'd probably go Drake May
Yep.
and Caleb.
Yep. Crazy
But
times.
again, and you know what's funny is we all thought everyone was saying this is the best situation a rookie quarterback is ever going into in Chicago. But man, that team has been a disappointment. That offensive line
Well, it's
on pace to be as bad as David Carr's offensive line.
I think the offensive line and the coaching are just two things that, like, if you're gonna have a rookie quarterback, man, you better have at least one of them be serviceable.
Yeah, I think they'll be a little bit better going forward, offensively at least.
Mm, mm, mm.
Did you see the reports though that there were some veterans asking for Tyler Bagent to start?
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
That
And I
was
saw another report,
reported.
yes, today. And I saw
Oh,
another report that they should genuinely consider benching Caleb Williams because he's getting killed behind that offensive line. Don't kill his confidence. Ride it out. Like let him. The same shit with Anthony Richardson. The art of patience with rookie quarterbacks is it's gone. That's not a thing anymore.
no, no. Can you imagine if Peyton
Absolutely
Manning came in the
ridiculous.
league and threw 500 picks the first year like he did? His ass would be traded for a fourth so fast.
There would be no Peyton Manning.
There would be no Peyton Manning.
Yeah, and
You got
he's even
anything?
said that. It's just ridiculous.
You got anything else before we get out of here? Shorter podcast today.
Nothing else, man.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, all right. So that was the podcast. Kept it to 2 topics this time. Go back to 3 next week just to make y'all happy. But yeah, thanks for checking it out. AJ, thank you very much for joining us today.
Of course, man.
Your flu game. Appreciate everyone for listening. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're sharing, make sure you're subscribing, following, whatever the button is. Yeah, thank you everyone for checking it out. Check out our previous episodes. Stay around for future episodes. I'm gonna get an NBA podcast recorded probably in the next week or so. Or maybe I haven't decided if I want to do it before or after Thanksgiving. Just because you know things are still early. I might wait until like the 20 game mark. I'm not sure yet. We're sort of only at like 12. I would say most teams have played like 10 to 12 games. Anyway,
the in-season tournament starting though.
In-season tournament is starting. The NBA Commissioner Cup. I'm not sure if they have the deal with Emirates going, but yeah. So that'll be fun. NBA fans enjoy that. The NBA Cup. They got it. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of twist on this.
I like it.
I like it, but like casual fans, I don't think will. Ooh, Mavericks Warriors tonight. I'm watching that. Hell yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it turns out this year.
We'll see. Anyway, thank you all for listening. And again, AJ, thank you for joining, even though you weren't feeling great. Yeah. See you next week, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.